James, great to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing real well. How about yourself?
Well, we're doing great, and we appreciate you coming on. Last time, I don't know if you remember this. You probably don't because you come on with 9,000 people when you come here because you're really good at talking and you give very good analysis. You came by our set in New York, actually, when I was a college student. And what happened was my equipment, since we were a low-budget operation then, started crapping out. So I'm talking to James Ihedigbo, and it starts going, and we just had to pull the plug. So it's been 3 or 4 years in the making, but we're great to have you.
Hey, you moved on up, man. Look at you now.
And now I get paid to do this. I fooled enough people over the years. With that being said, though, you played in New England, and then you've also been a rival with numerous stops in New England.
Yeah.
When you were with New England, what was it like with that culture? How would you describe that culture the year you were there?
Yeah, well, it's something that's implemented by Belichick from day one. They're do your job mentality. They're attention to detail. The preparation that goes into place. It starts from day one, and you hear guys, Rob Ninkovich, Julian Edelman, Devin McCourty, guys talk about it all the time to the media, and it almost seems like lip service, but that's just truly the culture that they've established through the draft, through bringing in free agents that all buy into the Patriots way, so to speak. So just from being there, my time there, it was my ability to adapt to what was being asked of me. And Belichick says, just do what's being asked of you and do it to the best of your ability, and that's why you see them so successful.
And obviously everyone looks at Brady and Belichick because without those two, this thing doesn't work how it is and how successful as it's been, playing in their 7th Super Bowl, looking for their 5th Lombardi trophy. That's the aspect of Belichick that some other coaches don't do. You don't need to be the best player, but he just finds that one strength, and then he says, just do that strength really well.
Yeah, well, that's a testament to the coaching staff. They bring in guys that are familiar. When the Patriots were, successful in run game early on, with Corey Dillon. Well, hey, I want a running back that's like Corey Dillon, so they bring in LeGarrette Blount. When you see, Kevin Folk, who's, a scat back, can catch out of the backfield, can run the ball, well, then now you have Lewis. So it's a testament to their the coaching staff as well as their scouting department to bring in players that fit the system that they want to run and what they want to get done. And, guys being able to do that.
When you were with the Jets, and I know people change all the time, you look at New England and they were a rival. How did you perceive New England before you were able to join them?
It was a rival. I played, for the New York Jets for, 4 years. We played them twice a year. Same division. It was, we don't like you, you don't like us. That was the mentality. I was with, Bart Scott, that whole can't wait, that
makes me sick as a Patriot fan, just being honest with you.
Hey, it's history, man. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of the game. But being a part of that, you build up that rivalry when you're facing a team. But then when you go into that locker room and you're asked to, start. I started, 12 games for the Patriots the year we started in the Super Bowl. And you're asked to play at a high level. Well, then you take another look at it and you say, man, I understand why they are the way they are. I understand why they're so successful. I understand why they're so dominant in this league. And it even, took me from a special teams guy to a starter in the NFL. So it shows if you buy into the Patriot way, not only you'll elevate your personal play on the field, but it'll elevate and be for the better good of the team.
And you look at their players and their history. Julian Edelman, no one thought he would be the player that he was. Malcolm Butler, no one knew who he was before he had the interception in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks.
You can add,
Chris Hogan right now.
Castaways. You can
it's unbelievable how they do that. You went to UMass, not a lot of people necessarily. It's not like playing for an Alabama, even though I did like that Blake Fornapple, the quarterback. I saw him play against Temple in college, and he was a really good quarterback. And then the wide receiver, Tajay Sharp. But with that being said, though, when did you know that, hey, I'm James Ihedigbo and I could play in the NFL?
I knew it early on. I knew that in college. I said it before, my upbringing and, my parents being able to come from, Nigeria, not having, too much to be able to earn their PhDs in education. I knew at a young age there's nothing that if I wanted to accomplish, I couldn't accomplish, through their success. So playing in the NFL was something that I knew in college that I could do. And, walking on to UMass and earning a full scholarship, being an All-American, all of those things just added to my drive and my focus for when I stepped foot in the NFL that I wasn't going to be denied. And now here we are, going on year 11 in the NFL as an undrafted, free agent, Super Bowl champion, played in multiple, AFC championship games. And, it's all about, how hard you're willing to work. And, we could take it back to, the Patriots, the Falcons. They were in this game because they were undeniable and they were, they were undenied and they were unselfish in the way they prepared and played each game. And, that's why they're here.
James Ihedigbo with us right now, Radio Row, Super Bowl 51. Our coverage is brought to you by Corona and Corona Light. With this Patriots secondary, I think it's a very underrated unit. And now they're going up against one of, if not the best receivers in the National Football League and the best offense in the National Football League. If you're a defensive player, talk strategy with me. How do you try to get ready for this Falcons offense?
Well, if you're looking at matchups and you're looking at what the Patriots notoriously do, in big games like this, they take away what you want to do well. The Atlanta Falcons' best strength, yes, they have all these weapons, but their ability is to run after catch. That's where they're so successful. That's where they're tacking on all these yards, is they'll take a 5-yard route and turn it into 25. So if I'm the Patriots, I'm saying we have to tackle. Tackling is the most important thing. If a guy makes a catch, we got to tackle him. I think you'll see Malcolm Butler probably man-to-man on Mohamed Sanu. And then you might see Ryan Logan on Julio Jones with Devin McCourty over the top. And then I would assume that the Patriots would pack the middle of the field, forcing Matt Ryan to make outside throws under pressure and distress. It's an in-breaking throwing offense, inside-breaking throws for that offense. And if they can force him to make him outside throwing, I think that's going to cause Matt Ryan some problems and be to the advantage of the Patriots defense.
There's a great Belichick story in 2004 where the Patriots played the Eagles. He walked in the night before the meeting and said, "Oh, this is their parade route," and started reading out the Eagles' plans for the parade. You were there before that Super Bowl loss to the Giants. What was Belichick like the night before the game?
He was very calm. He said, we've been here before. We're familiar with this opponent. They're familiar with us. I'm not going to ask you guys to do anything that you haven't done all year long. Go out there and play the way that you're capable of playing. Go play like Patriots, and we'll win this game. And that was really the mindset going in, is that, hey, we knew that. We just had to go play our game. And unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But here we are again. The Patriots are right back in it. And they won one, even a few years back against Seattle. So it's a philosophy that's in place that the players buy into, which allows them to be successful.
With Brady, there's so much we could talk about. There's
man.
so many words of extolment.
Yeah.
But one of the things that stands out to me the most is just his competitive nature. That's someone that still has a chip on his shoulder for being drafted 199 overall, and the game doesn't get old for him. You've been in those practices. You've played against him. You know how tough it is to play against him. Just how about his competitive nature?
I mean, what more can you say about it? The guy, he loves to compete. He loves to play at a high level. I think, his suspension early on in the year added to that, to that chip on his shoulder. I think something that stood out to me as, a former teammate is you watch his preparation. Why the defense is on we usually break it down during practice so the defense will get their reps against a scout team and the offense will get their reps. So while the defense is, getting our reps, he'll be on the other field working on fade routes with Gronk and Julian Edelman and all the other receivers and tight ends. So when they do it in the game, it's second nature. It doesn't matter who's covering them. They've gone over it 50 million times throughout the season, so it's second nature. Same ball, same high point, same catch. So I think it's that relentless, mindset for to excel and to play at a high level is what drives him. He always wants to compete to be the best, and that's why he's doing it year in and year out.
Whether it was in practice or playing against him, you ever pick him off?
Yeah. I actually.
What's he like when you pick him off in practice? High pitched, screaming, annoyed.
Oh yeah, he's pissed, but hey, that's a part of it. But I actually played against him when I was with the Detroit Lions. My first year in Detroit, 2014, we played in New England, and I picked him off. And I should have had two, I dropped the other one because he threw it so hard. I mean, he rifled it.
Do you talk smack when you pick up?
And it literally hit me in my chest. He's an awesome guy. I mean, I have such a great deal of respect for him. So there's very little quarterbacks that you talk trash to when you play. But, I just kind of – whenever you go against Tom, you let your play speak for you. And, he's a phenomenal competitor. Definitely enjoy playing against him and playing with him.
I'm pretty certain you're promoting a scholarship because I know you do a lot of good things off the field. So
yeah.
What do you got cooking?
Yeah, so we have our Hope Africa event coming up this week in Houston, right off of Kirby, Wednesday, February 1st from 6:30 to 9:30. We're raising money for students of African descent to attend colleges and universities throughout the United States. So go to hopeafricausa.org. Make sure to click and get your ticket and be there. It's going to be a great event.
That's awesome. We hope it's a big event and you raise a lot of money for a great cause. James Ihedigbo, former New England Patriot, joining us on the Zach Gelb Show. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back for more action from Super Bowl 51 in Houston.